Black Boy Music.
Karibu sana, Rosemary. Rosemary is the director of the African Boychild Network. And we've had someone from your organization here before, and you guys are doing an amazing job. But thank you so much for giving us another opportunity to, speak to you guys, see what you guys are doing on the ground, and how we can remedy this situation. Maboy wamelia sana. So, I think kabla we get on to this convo, what do you think of what this young man were talking about?
Hawa sio wameongea ukweli. Na ni poa sana cause finally Boychild ameanza kufungua roho. Finally. Kwa sababu wamelewa ile story ngumu. Lakini I think life imewapush so hard that they hawana choice ni kufungua roho. And if you listen carefully, their concerns are very genuine concerns. Kwa sababu one thing is for sure, hao ni maboys watataka kudate because it's a natural occurrence and you cannot really run away from it.
That's true.
But pia kuna pressure za hiyo dating. So unapata nataka manzi anataka do, sina job. So you understand, unajipata between a hard place and a rock. But that is just a drop in the ocean kwa zile mashida maboychild wako nayo. Ni nyingi sana. From laws to policies to societal expectations. I mean, demand tu za maisha kwa boychild. I think it's unbearable.
It's too much.
It's
a heavy weight that is bearing on them.
Exactly.
And goes on to their manhood, which is also leading to the breakdown of society.
It messes up even their own emotional being.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, let's start by telling us what exactly you guys at the Boychild Network do, for those who missed our conversation with one of your own here on our show. Maybe very briefly, what do you guys do? And now we need to have, after you've answered that, you'll also give us quick solutions to the problems that these young men are talking about.
African Boychild Network, first, is an NGO that primarily focus on the male gender. So our objective to spearhead sustainable transformation of the boy child. So it therefore means it's actually a continuous process. Now we have different programs, but the most important program that we have is advocacy. Trying to advocate what's the well-being of the boy child and the man.
Okay.
And of course that involves a lot, because we are coming from a culture that had bestowed a lot on the boy child. And of course from 1985, since the other gender went to Beijing.
Tumeitwa the other gender, by the way.
Went to Beijing. A lot has been changing, but unfortunately the same expectations bado hazijawachwa. You understand? You still expect your husband to open the car door for you. You still expect them to provide. You still expect them to give you security. You still expect them to go up the roof. You understand? But a lot of things are changing, but the expectations still remain the same.
That's
and
true.
What I say, if I've been walking on my 2 feet and then all of a sudden one of the feet is disfigured, you don't expect the same results. And therefore we need to be as flexible as possible of the things that we expect from the boy child.
Okay.
There's something that we say in our organization: the much you invest in the boy child should be the much you expect from him. You don't give him a job, don't expect him to provide. You do not give him things to give you security, don't expect him to give you security. If you do not bring him up well, don't expect miracles that you'll be a good man. They say, take care of the boy child and the man will emerge.
Wow. Take care of the man, of the boy child, and the man will emerge. I think if anything, guys, if anything, through this whole month, you've not gotten anything out of this conversation, please run away with that, If you're a parent watching us, take care of the boy child, and the man will emerge. And probably the next generation won't be sitting down to discuss the same issues, that we are talking about today. It's interesting that you are championing rights for the boy child. What has led you into this space?
Most of my time, as I was growing up, I spent a lot of time with my dad and my brothers. I came to Nairobi when I was 4 years old. Hapa Eastlands, Posta. So nimesomea Mbotela, and so all of us, we are 4 in our family. I'm the last born.
Yeah.
So I don't know what.
Only girl?
No, our firstborn is a girl. Then you have 2 boys in the middle.
Yeah.
Then me.
Then you.
And I don't know what plan my paros had. Ukifikisha 4 years, Nairobi.
Yeah.
My dad used to work for Posta.
Okay.
So ukifikisha 4 years, Nairobi. So I came to Nairobi when I was 4 years old. So you can imagine a 4-year-old staying with a dad, 2 brothers, because the years between me and my sister, actually she got married when I was in 34.
Oh wow, okay. The gap is wide.
At some point I thought she was my mom. And then when we go shags, when we go shags, I thought my mom was my grandmother.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because if she's the one in shags, you're thinking people go to visit their grandparents.
Yeah,
in shags.
But so I spent a lot of time with my bros and my dad. And I remember nguo zinaoshwa na my dad. We never used to have a house girl. So napikiwa na it was, you can imagine a little girl growing up with a dad and 2 brothers.
Yeah.
And in Eastlands. It's crazy, crazy, crazy.
It's true.
So I think from as we grew, I got used to them. I got used to understanding them. Of course, there were fights. Every day.
Yeah.
But what I've become is out of that toughness that they gave me. I actually acknowledge that when you have male gender around you, there's something they put in you that you don't give up very easily. They toughen you up, which is actually a requirement in this life.
Very true.
So what happens is that, of course, I went through school, and unfortunately, 2016, in March, my dad passed on.
Oh,
and I remember the last few weeks before he passed on, I think my family just decided the best place to have my dad spend his last days is in my house. So akatolewa Gishagi akarudi because he had already retired.
Yeah.
He retired in 1993. So he came, and by the time he came, he didn't even understand himself. So he was in my house, but all of us knew it was his last days. So March, he died.
Okay.
But the day we buried him, I remember standing and the coffin is going down. I made up my mind. I'm going to drop each and everything that I've been doing, and I'll start a men's organization. So immediately after he was buried, I started an organization called Men's Castle Kenya. It was not registered.
Castle.
Men's Castle Kenya.
Okay.
And I went with it all the way until December. That's when I legally registered it. Between then, I collected boys, I talked to men, I formed men groups and stuff. Because I think we used to talk a lot with my dad.
Yeah.
I used to know what he's going through, what he would wish, and I could tell whatever he was talking about. It was something very common. Because I spend 90% of my time with the male gender.
Yeah.
So I understand and I know how they feel. I can tell when a male is actually depressed or something.
Yeah.
Out of a lot of. So we went like that, and finally I decided, just like what I said, take care of the boy child and the man will emerge. So I changed the NGO from Men's Castle Kenya to African Boychild Network. Because I decided, let me take care of the roots. Whatever happens after will be beautiful. That's what I do.
That's a beautiful story. Actually, it was birthed by a very beautiful relationship that was born out of you and your dad, and understanding the issues that he was going through for your brothers as well. In your childhood, would you actually see the struggle that the 3 of them were going through as something common, or what your dad was facing was very different from what your brothers were facing because of generational differences?
One thing is that my dad was always busy. Because at times he would be called at night. You remember those times when we never had mobile phone?
Yeah.
So the fixed lines, ikianguka hivi.
Yes.
So there was a lot of in and out. And at times, but we really depended on him. Like I said, we didn't have a house girl.
Yeah.
So at times he would come and cook food, and then he would disappear. Anytime he got an opportunity to rush home, cook food for us, and then disappear. You can imagine that kind of life.
Yeah.
Then, of course, with my brothers, being Eastlands, 90% of the time they are out there. So at times they would come very hungry, eat all the food, and forget that I was there.
And you had to scavenge anything that's remaining.
So at times my dad would go out and probably not come because I'm Meitwa, and then I would come find the house is locked. My brothers were Kouko, Botella, Mijeri. And then I would stay outside the door until around midnight, waiting for them. Yeah? So there's a lot that I learned. But one thing that I knew is that I ended up not complaining too much, and I gave myself a lot of energy, self-motivation, self-uplifting. I knew at the end of the day, all would be well. And a lot of times, all was well. But, of course, each one of them had their own difficulties, especially coming from Eastlands.
Yeah.
But also, every time we would close school, the same day we close school, the same day we'd be taken to Shags.
Yeah.
So that 1 month, we'd spend a lot of time with my mom. And for us, our mom was more of the tough one than our dad. Because I remember every time we close school, the same day, my dad would say, "Munaenda Gishagi na mkumbuke kubeba tabia."
Msipeleke tabia za Eastlands Gishagi.
Yes, please remember mbebe tabia zenyu.
Yeah.
Because my mom she's actually tough. Even right now, by the time I go to my mom, I'll have to rehearse what I say. So at the end of the day, so I had such balance. So whenever I had people afraid of their dads, us guys were afraid of our mom. You can imagine I'm mid-40s, and you don't just go to my mom. Kabuja jipanga. You need to. So that is the tough woman that we know. But my dad was a little, because probably we softened it up by him taking care of us.
Yeah, probably,
so I think,
yeah.
Yes.
All right. And in looking back at since the foundation of the African Boychild, when it was still main castle organization, up to now, what gaps have you been trying to fill in the process, and how do you intend to do that if so far you haven't filled that gap?
I think our culture, or the African culture, has been an uphill for us. Because what happens, a lot of us feel that the boy child does not necessarily need support in whatever form. Because that's where we are coming from. And I do understand that's where we are coming from. Because previously, men used to have a lot of favors. You get a boy in Kiku culture, you'll have 5, they're called screams or whatever the hell. What are they called?
So, ululations.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So there was that preference. There was that attention for the
boy is 5, for the girl is
4.
3.
It's 4.
Okay.
So there was that. So what has happened is that even right now, with all the things that are happening, there are people in our culture that still stick to that boys or men do not need any kind of support. And if they show their emotions, is a sign of weakness.
Yeah.
So even in our advocating space, whenever we come out, na tunasema maboys wanataka support, maboys wanataka, all those opportunities, they're like, ni wasi wanaweza jisort.
Ni wanaume.
Ni wanaume.
Yeah.
But when you look at what is happening, every time you drive from here to Nakuru, 90% of the people you find, wamekatu kwa barabara wanahesabu magari, ni maboys.
True.
It therefore means all these boys sitting next to the roads are not providing for their families. You understand? Chances are they're even taking drugs.
Yeah.
Chances are, if your car gets broken, hapo kwa barabara,
ni wao watakuja.
Watakuja, either wakunyang'anya chenye timebaki ama wakusaidie. So it means these are idle, strong, young men.
Yeah.
That means they actually are a recipe for disaster if not taken care of.
True.
But is our culture willing to adjust to the modern day society and realize it is not the same? Men are as vulnerable. Actually, I'm thinking more vulnerable than girls and women in this day and age.
Very true. It's so true.
You understand?
It's very true.
So for us, it has been an uphill. But the fact that we are now in the media spaces, talking about boys and men, getting opportunities, sitting in boats to discuss policies and laws in regards to gender that includes men and boys. That it means we are progressing.
Okay.
It's still tough. There's a lot of resistance from men who advocate for girls and women, unfortunately.
That's quite ironic. But it's ironic, but I also remember that's what these young men were also talking about. Because wanasema maboy pia wanaume tuache we stop degrading each other. Ati we kwa sababu hauna do, you're the one who is going to talk bad about another man so that some lady is going to drop him na akuchukue kwa sababu mwanaume mwingine ameenda akasema, you know. So it's actually it's weird, it's funny.
It's funny because what I say, and this is something that I always tell men.
Yeah.
When you're 10 and one of you goes down, you're no longer 10. You are 9.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
Your power decreases. Kesho yake, if the 9th one goes down, you're no longer 9. You're 8. So they'll find you where you are at number 1. So whenever you see your fellow man going down, anza kuweka kichwa yako maji because your time is coming.
Yeah.
It is black and white. So
there's a Swahili saying that says that, yeah?
Yes, it's true. Mwenye nyonyolewa, tia chako maji.
Yeah.
So don't be excited because you feel one man is down. Don't be excited when your fellow man is being attacked on social media for something that he had a right to do, and you laugh at it.
Yeah.
Tomorrow is your turn. You understand? Or your sons or your brothers or your fathers. So I think we need to come out of that stupidity. Because men of kitambo never used to do that.
They used to hold each other.
Exactly. Yeah. Ukiwa na shida as a man, kuna pali mkwa mnaenda, unafanya hivi, unafanya. Today's men have become actually women. Forgive me for using that.
And where do you think that happened? Where did that breakdown happen? At what point?
You know, when you're given very few options in life, you only hang on what is available for you. You remember? So what happens is that opportunities for the male gender are decreasing. Zinakuwa ndogo. You understand? Because every time you see kwa papers, job advertisement, women are encouraged to apply.
That's true.
Kuna AGPO. Even when I'm 58, I'm a 90-year-old as a woman, I still have AGPO, which is actually a special ticket to getting tenders.
Yeah.
Even if I'm a woman who can service 1 billion tender, in this country, in our constitution, I'm still vulnerable than a guy who can't even service a 5K order. You understand how it is? So it therefore means the options for men are getting, shrink. So if they are shrinking, the only thing they are hanging on is stupid, petty things, bringing each other down.
Okay.
You understand? You remember Kitambo, they said women are enemies of women.
Yeah.
That is fading away slowly by slowly.
Yeah, true.
Because we are busy people. We've been given opportunities. We are actually going up there no matter what.
And now we're opening doors for other women.
And now we are opening doors for other women.
Yeah.
It therefore means ile pettiness, ile ujinga inatutoka kidogo kidogo. Ati I come here, have to look at how you are dressed, whether to like you or not. Yo ujinga inatutoka. The next thing I'm thinking, but that chick is seated there and she's cute. I need to go out there, work, and get to be who, like what she's, those are the kind of thoughts that women are having. Not petty things. Now we've put men in those places of pettiness. That's why you're seeing they are bringing each other down. Because they have absolutely nothing up here.
Yo, this is heavy. We told you it's going to be interesting, eh? Hey, straddle up your seats. So how do we reverse this pettiness, ujinga, stupidity that is being formed by trying to put each other down, men trying to put each other down? How do we remedy so that this next generation that is watching does not pick up this and run with it and think that it's normal?
This is what I'll say. Putting men in that box is by design. You understand? It's by design. Denying them opportunities, it's by design. If you lock someone in a room, a 4-wall room, for 1 year, you talk to that person after that 1 year, hata kama alikuwa daktari utapata amechizi.
Ni kweli.
You understand?
True.
So whatever is happening is by design. And how is it being done? When you talk about equality and equity, yeah? Mm-hmm. It means from where I come from, it means equal opportunities, equal treatment for all. You understand? Nobody in this entire world lives in a vacuum. We all live within structures and systems. If we continue manipulating laws and policies to favor one gender, it therefore means there is one gender that is going to lose out. Mm-hmm. Because what happens is that when you have laws and policies that talk about me and me alone, when that gender and policies goes to the ground, people are going to implement things that favor me and me alone.
Yeah. Some imbalance there.
Yes. So the position we find the boy child right now is out of what people are doing in their boardrooms, manipulating laws and policies to favor. They call it affirmative action. Mm-hmm. That is what they call it.
Yeah.
And affirmative action is I'm going to do what is best for you, regardless of the repercussion or the damage you're going to do the other person. That's how it is. I have to lift you up from earning 10 million to earning 20 million as a woman, and I don't care, there is a man here who doesn't have food to eat. That is what affirmative action is. And it has nothing to do with equality. Mm-hmm. Because when you talk about equalities, you are saying, if you can service 10 million tender, and this guy cannot service, a 40-year-old man cannot service 10 million tender, then we need to equate him in such a way that he comes to that level that you can comfortably compete. Mm-hmm. You understand? Yeah. That is what equality is. Bringing everyone to par. But that is not what is happening. Mm-hmm. That is not what is happening. So it therefore means that the boy child and the man will continue suffering until the point where we go back again, amend whatever it is that has been done that is meant to discredit, to discriminate, to suppress him. And it's happening. Because what happens is that the fact that I'm seated here, the fact that everybody is advocating for boys and men, it's in the media stations or in social media, then something will give in. Mm-hmm. And this is the worst that can happen. You can suppress or discriminate women. Yeah. It's very hard for me to take a panga and kill you. I will out of every 10 chances, probably 1 or 2. Yeah. But this guy will not even think twice. 2022 elections inakuja. Yeah. If you look at the campaigns, saa 3:30 unapata UDA iko na wa followers kwa ground.
Very true.
You think those guys are feeding their families? They are waiting for any opportunity to get that extra coin. Ni ukweli? Yeah. Ni wangapi unaonanga wanawake wakiwa huko saa 3:30 asubuhi? Very few.
Very, very
few. It therefore means even the survival of this nation lies in the hands of the boy child. Tupende tusipende. The day wataamusha waseme we are done, we will all be done. So if we've taken women for granted for years and we are changing, we are not going to take men and boys for granted for a very long time. Yeah. They will turn back. And the closest person they'll hit is a woman. Mm-hmm. And it's good that we realize that before it's too late.
Hey, well, I don't know kama nyinyi mnasikia hii moto iko hapa kwa studio, but it's very true. I actually agree with everything that you're saying. And it takes me back to when I was growing up, and there were so many of these conversations about, I think you switch on the TV, the panelists were all talking about how we need to empower the woman, how we need to empower the woman. That was in the 90s. And now the woman is empowered, and we are now seeing the reverse is happening now for the boys. And I really hope that these conversations will be loud enough so that we don't get to a point where they say enough is enough and turn the tables on us, you know? But hata nyinyi mkiwa nyumbani, what do you guys think of this conversation we're having with Rosemary? I think that she is actually sharing very important points and very actionable things that we as a society need to change, even from within ourselves. You know, it starts from hope.
That's true.
It starts from home. Let me get to our people back at home. Thank you. Thank you for each and everyone who has tuned in. And I am seeing some comments and questions. All right, okay. There were questions that I had seen over here. All right, I think they were more about the artist who was here. We are going to ask her when she comes back. I think there's going to be an opportunity for her to answer these questions. But thank you all. I can see Steve Biko, mnawasha moto hapo kwa comment section. Asante sana. Beatrice Patricia, thank you so much, guys. Calvin's Odegi. I hope I've read your name right. But asante sana, I can see you. Kwama MC, all right, so okay. I can see your comment, Michael Black. Tutaongea na JC when she comes back on stage. Steve Biko anasema maboy wameongea na tunataka muongee. We really want you guys to talk because we cannot understand. We cannot begin to understand your issues if you're not ready to talk about them. That is the only way that we start changing this narrative that the boy child or mwanaume ni pesa pekee, mwanaume ni yeye anafaa kupati. You know, like we have to change the narrative that the man is the one who burden yote lies on his back, you know. That is exactly what Rosemary is talking about. Rebecca Moiruri, I can see you. Asante sana, Rebecca. She's saying nice topic. Thank you so much for joining us. She's also asking a question. At what point did men start losing it to women? We've answered that question. Yeah, I think we had answered that question. But
let me say, men are not losing. There's a difference between fair competition and unfair competition. You understand?
Yeah.
When you set things like state funds to empower one gender, it is not fair treatment.
Okay.
We may understand.
Yeah.
So what happens, and these are the guys who are still paying tax. I was saying if today I was a man in Kenya, I would really fight KRA because you don't take my tax to empower a different gender and I'm also suffering.
Yeah.
You understand?
It's not one gender suffering out there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's not about men, women overtaking. It's about if we were, what I've told people, and this is what I've always said, the boy child does not need to be empowered. Give them a fair playground. You don't have to empower the boy child.
Yeah.
Mpatie tu a fair playing ground. He'll sort himself out. He has God-given ability to sort himself out. That is why you see the manga-manga-ring all over boda-boda na kimbia na nini. Because that is something they've been given by God.
Yeah.
But don't take that away from them by making sure that they get minimal opportunities so that me and you can rise.
Mm-hmm.
It is not even human. It's not even godly.
Yeah.
You get?
I get
Putting funds aside for a specific gender. Look at the kind of cars women are driving. In our constitution, those are vulnerable women. How are they vulnerable? If a jama is on the street, anaokota bread na chai, akule, and then a woman is driving 15 million car, and the constitution says she's vulnerable.
She's vulnerable.
We need to redefine such words because they are being misused.
Okay. I love your passion. I really love your passion. And that is the passion that we need to have to rise up and speak for this boy child. You're in a very interesting space as a woman fighting for the boy child. I am sure you have been met by challenges. What can you pick out from your... How many years have you been doing this?
From officially 2017 January.
Yeah. So what kind of issues and challenges have you faced in this fight?
One is that we are going up the stream, up the hill. The girl child and women are going down. So kinajua ukiteremuka ni rahisi kuteremuka kuliko kupanda. So of course we've had enormous challenges. Resistance to the core. And what they say is that a lot of people who advocate for girls and women, they look at us as enemies, willing to block each and every opportunity or avenue we have to advocate for boys and men. It has been very deliberate. We have tried so many times to get into places where it matters. Ministry of Gender. I mean, a lot of places.
Yeah.
But they are very selective on who gets there and who does. Because what happens is that a lot of people who tend to advocate for boys and men, at times we find they are not very honest about it.
Yeah.
Because what happens, I will not use my boys in reference to girls. You understand?
Yeah.
I'm not going to look at men in reference to women. I want to look as boys, period.
Okay.
I want what is their best well-being.
So the message changes from equality to supporting one gender, leaving the other.
It's reference, because like there's a time we were celebrating Father's Day at a Ruiru prison facility college.
Yeah.
And what I said is that it is the high time, and men it's nice and boys it's nice to hear this. It is the high time. Don't sit somewhere and somebody is coming to tell you how to best treat your wife. The first thing should be what is best for you as a human, because you are equally a human being.
Yeah.
You cannot die providing for your family. What benefit does it have as you when you are not a human being? You're not a machine. Make sure you take care of yourself first. If you are sick, you need to take care of yourself first to heal, for you to be able to take care of another sick person.
Yeah.
In today's world, everywhere you go, men are being used to take care of. The measure for being a good man is taking care of your family and you're dying.
Yeah.
How many men have taken care of their wives and children? Wakiretire the day that coin disappears. Miaka mbili, coffin down. How many? You drive to Nakuru. All those coffins, 80% are retired men. Why? You did what you did to take care of your family.
Yeah.
The day you retire and you're supposed to now relax, na ukule zile fruit umepanda, you harvest what you've done, that is the time you die. And you know why? Because the society taught you the measure of a good man is to take care of everybody else apart from yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
You understand? You find your kids are doing very well. Your wife is doing very well. The day you don't have
In
money.
fact, she's thriving.
Exactly. Because at the end of the day, once you are done with, they've done, once they've used you enough, you cannot even do anything else. They dump you, and now the mother lies more on the children. Anapeleko mtoto amezaliwa Ulaya. Mom, kujo nilee mtoto. Mom, do this. The old man who you've worked in government for 40 years, uko nyumbani unalisha ng'ombe. Nobody even calls you. You understand? Yeah. So I'm telling men, the measure of you in today's world, you kitambo it was okay.
Yeah.
Do not feel that you're man because you're able to take care of your family. You should be a man enough because you can take care of your family and yourself, and you should be first priority. Otherwise, you're going to do what you need to do to take care of them. One day after you are done, you'll be dead. What's the point?
There's no point.
What's the point?
It's not helping anyone.
Priority areas, me, my family. Me, my family. That is the only way you're going to live, because women have perfected the art of taking care of themselves first before anything else. You go to the salon, you have your nails done, you do shopping. You understand? You are taking care of you because we've perfected taking care of me before anything else. And we are doing very well. Men need to start thinking, being a man, that is crap. That is something that is being used to suppress you and discriminate you. Priority number one, you. The rest will follow.
The rest will follow. There's someone who is disagreeing with you. I don't know what point, which point it is that you're disagreeing. Rebecca, I wish you can you can explain what point it is that you disagree. But anasema, I disagree with that totally. But let wacha tuone kama at a comment. But she's saying, how can we complement each other fairly?
How can we complement each other fairly?
Fairly, yeah.
I'll tell you one. The most important thing, and I'll go to what I said. Yeah? We do not live in a vacuum. You understand?
Yeah.
Yeah? Wherever you are, as a young man. Yeah? Speak out when you feel you are being suppressed or discriminated. Speak up. The rest of us who are in places where we can actually resist discriminative laws and policies, let us say no. I'll tell you something that happened some few years ago, 2-3 years ago.
Okay.
There was National Youth Gender Policy document that was being validated at Intercon, if I'm not wrong. If it's not Intercon, it's LICO. I cannot remember the place.
Yeah.
And one of those, in that particular document, there was a clause that categorized female youth as important youth, special youth. Can you imagine a national document, youth development policy, that categorizes youth living with HIV, special. Youth living with disability, special. Female youth, special. Do you know what that means? Policy document lasts a lifetime of 10 years. It therefore means, and you know when you're categorized as special, it means you'll have special treatment for the next 10 years. We talked about it. I have physically highlighted that particular clause. And finally, after a lot of emails, it was dropped.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
Assume nobody talked about it. The people who had written that particular document are both male and female, and they could see that, but they decided what I pity. Because maybe the male there did not have the guts to say remove this. So if we do not come out proactively and resist what is discriminative, what is suppressive, things are not going to change. You understand?
Yeah.
So in your own small way, wherever you are, when you see anything that is suppressive,
speak up.
Speak up and say no. All those education institutions, primary, secondary, if people come to your school as a principal, they have programs for girls. If they do not have programs for boys, do not allow. Because you're actually aggravating the problem. If you have something for the girls, I have both sexes here. If you don't have anything for, please go back and reconsider. That way, we actually send a message that we are all here to give both sexes and we need to treat them.
So a lot of policy change. Speak up when you feel social change is really needed. It's a fight because it's something that is actually in our society, in our culture as well. Okay, all right. This is a heavy conversation. I don't think we can actually have close to it. I was telling Mr. Mwangi behind here. It gets very emotional, yeah? You don't want to finish this conversation because, there's so much to deal with. But, guys, if you guys have any other questions you may want to ask, you can keep asking them, yeah? And in the course of the week, I'm sure we can have someone answer them because right now, najua tukika hapa tunaweza maliza hii conversation hata saa 3 usiku. Rebecca has been able to get back to us. She's saying, when you take good care of a woman, she will take care of you to your deathbed. Bad treatment catches up with men in old age where women tend to be stronger and run the home. I think is that when you were talking about the men who are...
I'll say this. Don't put conditions. That the man has to take care of you for you too. You understand? That is a condition. You understand? You are supposed to take care of each other. That should be the statement. Couples are supposed to take care of each other. That is the only way marriages thrive. But you're not going to attach that my son has to take care of you for you too. It doesn't work like that. And that is where you see divorce rates. They are very high. They're very high. But I'm happy, and it's something that I've just remembered that I need. There is a conversation the boys were having about money and how it is expensive to date and stuff like that. And somebody somewhere started something, is it last year, but one, Stingy Men Association. Could you register to that association? Join that association. So that when all of you join that association, women will have nothing, and they'll come back and say, let us talk.
Yeah.
But as long as you are encouraging, as long as you are penniless, this is something that is not going to end. We need to realize, and men need to realize, women are working so hard. They are competing with them. So they do not owe women nothing. You take care of me, I take care of you, we take care of each other.
Yeah.
If it is in the house, the man, you pay the school fees and pay the rent. Let me buy the food.
Mm-hmm.
That is how marriage is going to survive in this day and era.
Yeah. I'm actually hearing maybe someone who is watching, a Christian, who's like, okay, so where does the place of the roles and responsibilities that God give the man and the woman, where do they come in our society now? And to make sure we are not also suppressing the man as we try to say, no, but God said ABC.
It's good that you've talked about religion. In the Bible, it's very clear. Of course, they say the God, it comes like that. And of course, it says the man is the head, and then
woman is the neck.
Then they also say woman is meant to be the helper.
Mm-hmm.
Came out of
Adam's rib.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the truth of the matter is that in this day and age, anytime somebody wants to pin you down, they'll put a religion card on you. Mm-hmm. You are the man. You're supposed to provide. You're supposed to provide security.
Yeah.
Whether that guy has a job or not, the woman will pull that card.
Yeah.
It does not work anymore. Because if that is the way it was supposed to be, then all men would be providing and all women would be assisting or helping.
Yeah.
It's not that way. You understand? How many women are now providing for their families and a man can't even stay in that house?
Yeah.
How many men have lost their jobs and have been kicked or divorced because of just losing their jobs?
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So women know very well, biblically, a man is supposed to provide. So if he's not providing, I don't have to be with him.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? I do not have to be with him because it's written he's supposed to provide or he's supposed to provide security.
Yeah.
But things have changed. We need to realize the fact that we are empowering women, the fact that women are doing big and huge things, provision has a preference for men, or security has a preference for men, should be done away with. Tunatoshana, we are in pursuit of equality. Equal opportunities should equally be equal responsibilities. Hakuna kitu ya mwanaume na mwanamke hapa. Hapana, kama si wote tunachapa job. Responsibilities kwa nyumba 50-50.
Yeah.
There is nothing at it is equal responsibilities should be given to people with equal opportunities.
Yeah.
Hakuna kitu ya mwanaume hapa. Nothing, zero. Those things of God said what, where, how, those are things that are not practical in this day and age.
Hey, I can literally hear women screaming at that point. But talk to us as we wind up very, very briefly how the 16 days of activism is important to you guys as the African Boychild Network.
One, we've done a lot of media shows on 16 days of activism, and it's important that you brought it up. And the truth of the matter is that a lot of people probably focus the 16 days of activism on girls and women, ending gender-based violence on girls and women. And all of us know the perception of society is all about gender as girls and women. Mm-hmm. But it's also good to acknowledge that gender-based violence is an outcome for something. It is the end result to something. Yeah. You understand? Yeah. Because what happens with gender-based violence, by the time someone violates you, there has to be a history. Mm-hmm. There has to be a history. Yeah. Either happened there, in that has been happening, or somebody's coming from somewhere with all the baggage and stuff. Yeah. One of the things that they talk about gender-based violence is mental illness, stress, and whatever. You find my husband lost his job, he's become violent. Yeah. You understand? Mm-hmm. Or my husband has been, there's a lot of stress at work, and I let her home. Yeah. You understand? So there's a root cause of gender-based violence. True. And that is where the focus should be. how do we take care of the root causes of gender-based violence?
Yeah.
I'll tell you something. Right now, kids are burning schools without thinking too much.
Yeah.
Are you telling me after 4 years or after 3 years, when these kids are done with their Form 4, they're not going to burn a house? They're not going to burn tires on the road?
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to burn their girlfriends? But we're not willing to talk about that.
Yeah.
We're just waiting for it to happen, and we get data, rush to Europe, get funding, and come and wait for the next victim. We collect data and go back and get money and come back.
Yeah, we don't
Do you know
understand
how many billions have been thrown into GBV?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how many? It's a lot of money. This country, since all this whatever started, over 40 billion.
Yeah.
You're getting, is it getting better? It's getting worse.
It's getting worse.
Why? Because it's money haste for us.
We don't want to understand the root cause.
We do not want to take care of the root cause, because that is our livelihood.
Mm-hmm.
If a 2-year-old girl is defiled,
they'll
come there, do demo, get that data, and go get funding and come back. What about the girl is not important?
Mm-hmm.
We are getting funding to take care of the end result. We are reacting. And we would wish it happens, because that is our livelihood. We have to survive. You get what I'm saying? A boy violates, he'll be taken to prison. That prison, they eat 3 times in a day. Who is paying? It's you and me. Your hard-earned cash is what is feeding some guys in prison.
Yeah.
Do you know how much budget goes to the prison facilities, institution in this country? Huge. Ministry of Interior, huge. But they don't want to put money in preventing, because that is not, when it doesn't happen, there's no money.
Yeah.
Utende useme statistic utatoa wapi? Data utatoa wapi? Ni watoto ngapi walirepiwa, utatoa wapi if it doesn't happen?
I get you.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So all these whatever, it's just a job like any other. They are waiting for a girl, a 2-day girl to be defined. Ndio wapeleke media huko, wapeleke NGO huko, ndio government ifanye statement. Some donor somewhere out there will give 20 billion to make sure children below 2 days are not violated. It's money haste. Are we willing to invest in mental health? Are we willing to put industries to create employment? Yes. No, we are not. KPLC is here. The rates are up there. You can't even manufacture anything in this country because of power cost. They're actually sabotaging opportunities to create employment. And then you're here coming to say, GBV, give it 50 billion. Nonsense.
We are jumping before the gun, Wow. I don't know whether I want to end this conversation here or we want to continue, but I would really love to engage you much further. It's just that we are really short of time. We are really, really short of time. But I'm thankful that you got the time to come. And I hope you guys at home, you've walked away with a thing or two. This conversation was supposed to, open up your mind. Ask yourself the many questions that we've asked ourselves here. And look within us to see how we are also contributing to I don't want to use that word, but it's those young men who were in studio, they use the same word. Are we also contributing to degrading the men in our society? Ask yourself these many questions and see whether you can contribute to the change in society that we are looking for. Yeah? This has been a very, very insightful month for me, especially. I don't know about you guys, but I have gone home with something very mind-blowing. And I really hope, if you've not watched the other episodes that we've had amazing conversations. We've had conversations and questions that have been asked on this platform that have opened up our minds and opened up our changed our perspective on how we deal with issues to do with men and the boy child.